Tonight, Troy students pig out for a good cause.
Plus, a new government council was introduced to campus. Stay tuned, Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for September 21st, 2012. I'm Bailey Majors.
And I'm Jamarlo Phillips. Thank you for joining us this evening. A new branch of the Student Government Association met for the first time last night to discuss how they're going to fulfill the biggest goal SGA has for the year. Justin Garner reports.
Student Government Association President Will Thompson says the first meeting for the new branch of the SGA went well.
We had to talk about a lot of different things, get some housekeeping issues out of the way. And now we can get down to the dirty work, but I'm glad that we got that all knocked out in the first meeting.
The members of the Governmental Affairs Council will meet with state representatives. In order to achieve the goals of the council, members cannot walk into a situation like that unprepared.
We're asking for money most of the time. Our ultimate goal is to see an increase in equity funding for the university. But I think that after a while, once they get used to protocol, I think that they'll do a fine job.
This council's success is one of the top priorities for the SGA within the next year. Thompson says that working with the Governmental Affairs Council is not as stressful as it could be because he just likes doing it.
I love this place. And I love the student body. I want to see this university succeed.
Thompson says soon council members will be making trips to Montgomery to meet with state representatives. If it is successful, students will not be seeing any results of the council until January when the Alabama State Legislature reconvenes. Judson Garner, Troy TrojanVision News.
The Government Affairs Council will meet twice a month for the rest of the semester.
Residents in the Pike County area have plenty of new art to enjoy as the new exhibit is up in the Johnson Center Gallery, where one artist showcases his talents for using cast-off materials. The Johnson Center for the Fine Arts has opened a new exhibit entitled Tin Man, The Art of Charlie Lucas.
Charlie Lucas is an artist from Selma, Alabama, who uses a lot of metal, tin, and recycled materials to create two-dimensional and three-dimensional pieces.
Drinkard said that the artist worked as a mechanic for a long time, and an accident at his job caused him to change professions, but also helped inspire his artwork.
Because of a back injury, he became unable to do the mechanic work that he had always done, so he became an artist because he liked to weld metal together, so you'll see that a lot in his pieces.
Drinkard also says that Lucas often uses recycled objects in his artwork.
The theme behind this exhibit is just a celebration of upcycled and recycled pieces and of his art. He does great paintings along with using the three-dimensional pieces.
Drinkard says that since there's a variety of work showcased in the Tin Men exhibit, she thinks that Lucas's work will appeal to a wide audience.
Can expect to see pieces that do have an inspiration of folk art in them and that are using bold colors. They're also individually and uniquely framed. He frames them himself using pieces of scrap wood from houses. But I think that there's a piece in this exhibit for everyone to enjoy.
Lucas also has a book for sale at the Johnson Center, which tells the reader about his journey as an artist.
The book tells about his inspiration for art and how he became interested in art, and it also showcases a lot of his pieces and where he's gone with his art.
There will be a reception celebrating the opening of the Tin Men exhibit at the Johnson Center on October 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. Well, Jamarlo, all this week, Phi Mu Sorority has been raising money for their philanthropy project.
That's right, Bailey, and their efforts earlier this week consisted of rolling a giant beach ball around campus. But last night, the focus shifted to stuffing faces. Joey Hudson explains.
Thursday night, Phi Mu hosted a nacho eating contest downtown where dozens of participants competed for prizes.
This is our third annual Get on the Ball and Nacho Eating Contest. So for the past 2 days, we've rolled around a 7.5-foot ball around campus, and we've asked people to donate $1 to sign the ball. And then this afternoon, we're going to do the Nacho Eating Contest. We have a female and a male division. It was $15 to enter. All of the proceeds go to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
Participants especially were excited about the contest with a chance to win an Xbox 360 or Nook tablet.
I hope it's going to be fun. People compete to eat as much nachos as they can, including myself. I don't know how many I'm going to eat, but hopefully it'll be a good time. Ready to eat some nachos?
Yeah, this is my third year winning. Just ate some nachos really fast and beat everybody doing it.
Besides the contest itself, spectators enjoyed a live band and the chance to win raffle prizes. Proceeds went to the Children's Miracle Network with additional support from Mama Goldberg's.
This is the third year we've done this, and every year we've been partnered with Mama Goldberg's, and they provide the nachos. And we also had 2 FIMU nights this week. It was Wednesday and then tonight. And so 10% of whatever Mama Goldberg's is making these 2 nights gets also donated to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
Joey Hudson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The proceeds from FIMU's fundraising this week will go to the Children's Miracle Network.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Gadsden, a defense attorney says a plea deal may be in the works for a stepmother of a 9-year-old girl who prosecutors say was run to death as punishment for lying. Richard Ray indicated during a court hearing that talks between 28-year-old Jessica May Harden and prosecutors may be underway. Ray represented the dead girl's grandmother, 47-year-old Joyce Harden Garrard.
And in Montgomery, the unemployment rate has risen for the 4th consecutive month to 8.5% for August. The figure announced today by the State Department of Industrial Relations represents more than 183,000 unemployed people.
And in Leeds, authorities say 2 large dogs pounced on an 82-year-old man and as he checked his mail, killing him in his yard. Leeds Police Chief Brian Jackson says the man's wife was unable to fend the dogs off. The chief said they weighed more than 100 pounds and an officer had to kill both of them after the attack. St. Clair County Coroner Dennis Russell identified the man as Donald Thomas.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, President Obama and Mitt Romney battle it out on the campaign trail. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Plus, it's a weekend full of conference action in the Trojan sports teams, and the football team is on their way to Texas. Danielle Percival will have more when she joins us with sports.
The Trojan football team is on the road for their first conference road test of the season. I'm Danielle Percival. I'll have a preview of the North Texas game coming up.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
Want to save money on gas and help the environment? The EPA's smart driving tips could give you more miles per gallon and reduce air pollution. Make sure your tires are properly inflated. Accelerate and brake slowly. Be aware of your speed. And when buying a new car, look for the SmartWay certification mark to help you choose the most efficient vehicle that meets your needs. If we each adopt just one of these tips, we'd get more miles for our money, and it would be a little easier to smell the flowers. For more info, visit epa.gov/smartway.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Jamarlo Phillips at the Global News Desk. Jamarlo.
Thanks, Bailey. President Obama was back in the swing state of Virginia while GOP rival Mitt Romney was campaigning in hard-hit Nevada as the debate over who can best change Washington heats up. Both campaigns also took time to court seniors at the AARP convention. Tara Mergener is at the White House with the latest.
Hello, Virginia!
President Obama asked voters for their help in the key battleground state of Virginia Friday. GOP rival Mitt Romney is targeting Nevada. On the campaign trail, Romney has been seizing on remarks the president made Thursday when he told a town hall, "You can't change Washington from the inside."
I can change Washington. I will change Washington. We'll get the job done from the inside.
Friday, President Obama was ready to fire back.
We don't want an inside job in Washington. We want change in Washington. It can't happen if you write off half the nation before you even took office.
Both campaigns also faced off over the future of Medicare, a key issue for seniors. In a satellite message to the AARP convention, President Obama said Romney's plan would weaken Medicare.
I don't consider this approach bold or particularly courageous. I just think it's a bad idea.
Appearing before the same group, GOP Vice Presidential nominee Paul Ryan went on the offensive.
Time and again, this president has ducked the tough issues. He's put his own job security over your retirement security.
It's a message he'll take to Florida on Saturday, while President Obama plans to campaign in Wisconsin.
Health experts in Britain say painkillers could be the cause of your headache. They have issued new warnings to help doctors diagnose the problem. Tina Cross reports from London.
Victoria Saxton has suffered from migraines for years. For a long time, she tried to manage the pain on her own with over-the-counter painkillers.
And they work at first, so you take more and more. So I started taking them like they were candy.
It turns out she was making her pain worse. Doctors diagnosed her with what's called a medication overuse headache.
Only about 50% of people actually go and get a diagnosis because they think their doctor will just send them away saying it's just a headache.
British health experts say patients who take over-the-counter painkillers, including aspirin and ibuprofen, up to 15 days a month, could be causing their headaches. The National Institute for Health and Clinical Excellence is urging doctors to take a closer look at whether painkillers could be hurting their patients. It's estimated 1 in 50 people get headaches from using too much medication, and women are 5 times more likely to suffer than men.
I had no idea what I was doing. I was in excruciating pain and just trying to help myself.
Victoria now has the help of a doctor and takes 4 pills a day instead of 10 to manage her pain.
7 p.m. the attack started.
And she keeps a journal to track her progress. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Apple's new iPhone 5 is on sale today in 9 countries. Fans lined up at stores around the world to get their hands on one. Dick Brennan is in New York, where some camped for over a week.
Apple Store employees welcome customers with cheers and high fives. At the flagship store in New York, Hazem Syed was the first one in line for the iPhone 5.
This is like love at first sight.
Syed camped out for 8 days to hold his place and says it was worth the wait.
The speed, the camera, the size, that it's thinner and it's lighter.
The newest iPhone has a larger screen and uses the faster 4G LTE network. Its new map service has hit some glitches, but Luis Lorenzo, number 11 in line, says it's the best iPhone yet.
Everybody is anticipating this for a while now, and it came out and Apple delivered.
Of course, if you want your new iPhone, you've got to stand in line in a corral that goes around and around and around. But we can tell you it does move. Sometimes. In fact, that's the scene at Apple stores around the world. Crowds gathered from Europe to Japan to Australia, where Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak was among the first customers.
I don't have to wait 17 extra hours to get it in California.
Rival BlackBerry is having a much worse day. An outage interrupted service for customers in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. It took the company several hours to fix the problem, the very hours that lines were forming outside Apple stores. Many customers have held off buying new phones in anticipation of the iPhone 5. Analysts think the company will ship as many as 10 million of them this month alone. Dick Brennan for CBS News, New York.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, such as the delayed exoneration of a former gang member, you can tune in to TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Bailey.
Thank you, Jamarlo. And now Danielle Percival joins us for a look at sports. So Danielle, the football team hit the road for the game this weekend, but we actually had some Trojan sports action happening on campus today.
That's right, Bailey. We mentioned it. It is a big conference weekend. All of our teams that are in action are going to be in conference action. That started today with the soccer team. We'll get into that in a minute. Of course, football's the big story. Let's look at it.
All right.
After 2 straight home losses, it's time to hit the road again and get back into the conference title hunt. That means getting back in the win column, and it starts this weekend against the Mean Green. The Trojans may only be 1-2 this season, but in all 3 games so far, the offense has had over 450 yards, which has provided confidence to the players. But Coach Larry Blakeney knows they'll need more than confidence to beat North Texas.
Well, it should be good, but if you take it the wrong way and you go pressing into Denton, Texas, and think they're going to waller up for you, you got the wrong idea.
Troy has struggled with turnovers and penalties to start the season, and Blakeney knows that has to change in order for his team to get back on the right track.
If I could have 2 or 3 things, it'd be no turnovers, well under 50 yards in penalties, and out-kick them. You know, if we can get those 3 things, I think we'll have a chance to win.
I truly believe if we take care of the football on offense and we just continue to keep moving it like that, I think it's going to be a good season for us. We just got to take care of it.
In 4 of the last 5 meetings with North Texas, Troy has scored over 40 points. Last year, though, they were unable to reach that mark and lost 38-33. 3 turnovers that resulted in mean green points proved costly.
Last year they got us here, late, so I think it's going to be another good football game. Hopefully it won't be, a shootout again like it was last year, but, I hope we're scoring a lot of points.
They'll be good as usual. They'll fight us hard. They always do, always have, and always will. It'll be a hard-fought game for 4 quarters.
They're going to be jacked to come out and play us. Everybody always seems to be, they're on their seats when we come to town.
Getting back into conference play is important since the Trojans are already 0-1 in this Sun Belt. In order to be in the hunt at the end, a win is needed on Saturday.
It's going to be big. As far as comfort-wise, we behind in the conference, so this definitely is a must-win for us.
It's huge, that these conference games are really the ones that matter the most. To get to that ring, we got to go. We got to run the house from here on out.
Obviously our goal is to win the Sun Belt, so that starts this week, out in Denton, Texas, with a pretty good, football team out there.
The Trojans in Mean Green are scheduled for a 6 o'clock kick in Denton, Texas tomorrow. Troy is 0-1 in the conference, but for North Texas, this will be their conference opener. And we have some good news for Troy Cable users. ESPN3 is now available on Troy Cable Internet. According to Troy Cable, any of their subscribers have to do is go to ESPN3.com, click Watch Now, and they will be able to watch tomorrow night's game online. Well, this weekend may or may not be full of sunshine, but for the soccer team, it will be filled with conference action from the Sunshine State. Troy takes on both Florida teams of the Sun Belt this weekend, and the conference opener against FAU was this afternoon. The Owls come in with a 2-5 record, but did pick up a 4-3 win over UAB on Sunday. The Trojans have struggled all time against the Owls with a 1-11 record. At halftime, there was no score between these teams, but in the second half, FAU scored twice to take the game by a final of 2-0. Also, Sunday at 1, the Trojans take on FIU. The Panthers are 3-4-1, but once again control the series with Troy, having won 6 out of the 7 matchups. And another team beginning their conference schedule this weekend is the Trojan volleyball team. They'll be starting against some tough competition. Tonight, Troy will take on Western Kentucky in Bowling Green, and the Hilltoppers are ranked number 24 in the country. Part of that reason is likely because the Hilltoppers are 5-1 at home this season. Troy and Western will meet on the court at 7 o'clock. Coach Sonny Kirkpatrick wants one thing from his team tonight.
Just to compete. They're the number 1 team in the conference. They're one of the top 24 teams in the country. So we'll get a chance to see where we are and where we need to go to. And it's always great to play them. They're a really well-coached, well-disciplined team. And we're going to have to play really well to compete. So it's good for us because it's the best team by far we've played. And it's always good to measure yourself against the best teams.
Then tomorrow, Troy will be traveling back down south a little ways to play Middle Tennessee in Murfreesboro. The Blue Raiders have had anything but a hot start. They're currently 3-12 and on a 9-game losing streak. The Trojans and Blue Raiders play at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So Bailey, Jamarlo, lots and lots of Trojan sports action this weekend. It's going to be an action-packed weekend with football tomorrow and actually volleyball tonight. So it's just lots of teams participating, and of course we wish them the best of luck as they go out to represent the university.
Absolutely, and hopefully we can pull out a win.
That's right.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Coming up on TrojanVision Nightly News, we'll learn about Troy's student literary journal and the Rubicon.
But first, we've seen cooler temperatures all week, but today seems to be warming up again. What can we expect for the weekend, Bree?
Although today is officially the last day of fall, those warm temperatures will be sticking around. I'll have more coming up on weather.
At the heart of what we do in the College of Business is care for the student.
It's a personal thing with the students. We feel like the students are our most important asset, our most important products.
I have never been anywhere where I've known so many students on first-name basis. They stop by socially to talk to.
So we understand who our students are, and we're trying to help them be better
in their areas of professional work.
My colleagues and I work together to create programs that our students need.
What we try to do at Troy University is provide an experience to students that not only provide the curriculum that allows them to be successful in the business world, but we also try to expand their horizons to reach greater opportunities that maybe they didn't think they were capable of before.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Bree Sanders joins us for a look at weather.
Well, Bree, like you said, it's the last day of summer, so when are we going to expect these cooler temperatures to come in?
Well, even though today is officially the last day of summer, we will be having those warm temperatures stick around for a while. I'll have more in just a moment, though. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Right now on campus, we see that it's a very beautiful day outside. The sun's setting right over Bibb Graves, so whether you're headed to class or you're headed home from work, you can definitely stay outside and enjoy the view. Current conditions in our area, we have sunny skies, temperatures at 85 degrees, dew points at 61 degrees, humidity is at 45%, barometers at 30.01 inches and steady, winds are coming in from the south-southwest at about 2 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 86, a low of 57. There was no rain today. The sun rises at 6:26 a.m. and it should set at 6:41 p.m. Temperatures around the state. Overall, the state is experiencing a bit of scattered temperatures right now. Mobile coming in with a high at 87, Huntsville at 79, Birmingham at 81, Montgomery, Troy, and Dothan at 85, Phoenix City at 86. Taking a closer look at those temperatures in the southeast, we have lower 80-degree temperatures here in the Birmingham area, and as we move throughout the rest of the southeast, those temperatures remain constant right there in the low 80s. Looking at our temperatures around the United States, here on the west coast, they are experiencing some scattered temperatures as well, some low 60s, some 70s, some mid 80s. A lot of warm temperatures in their area remaining constant. Current surface map, they do have a few heavy to moderate rain systems here in the California area, as well as a few high pressure and low pressure systems mixing in to bring those rain systems closer to their area. But as we take a closer look in our area, we have a few light winds in our area, high pressure systems that passed through earlier this week, possibly bringing in those cooler temperatures in our area. Looking at our departure from normal, we're about the same as we've been for the past few days as far as our high and low temperatures. No big difference there. Precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours, we shouldn't be experiencing any rain in our area, but as we can look at the state of Florida covered as a whole for the next 2 days in rain. So if you happen to be traveling this weekend, going anywhere towards the Florida area, make sure you have that rain gear with you just to stay out of those conditions. Heading into our weekend on Saturday, still no rain in our area. As we close our weekend out on Sunday, still no rain. Beginning our weekend on Monday, clear in our area, but we do have a little bit of rain coming in from the west, possibly hitting us sometime later on next week. As we head into Tuesday, still no rain in our area, but we do see some rain conditions gathering north of Tennessee there. For tonight's forecast, we have mainly clear skies, winds light and variable, coming in from the south-southwest at about 2 miles per hour with a low of 64 degrees. So tonight will be much like last night. It will be kind of windy outside, kind of breezy, but it won't be too cool. For tomorrow's forecast, we have mainly sunny skies, a high UV index, winds light and variable coming in from the west-northwest at about 7 miles per hour with a high of 90 degrees. So tomorrow will be much like today. Very warm outside. Definitely go outside and enjoy your weekend. As we head into our 4-day forecast, Saturday that high gets to about 90 degrees with a low of 60 degrees. Ending our weekend on Sunday, that high gets right to 85 with a low of 53. As we start Monday out, that high decreases a little bit to the lower 80s, right at like 82 degrees, that low of 55. And on Tuesday, that high gets back to 85. So, Jamarlo, we have been seeing some warm temperatures, and even though today is officially the last day of summer, those fall temperatures won't be here to stay just yet.
All right. Thank you, Bree.
You're welcome.